Hi, good day to every one of you. Today I will be making a quick tutorial on the turban you can see on the screen. It is a satin turban mixed with Crinoline. So quickly, I'm showing how I prepared the bias because I actually made the bias out of the satin that I was using, and you can see that the color of the satin is orange. Therefore, the color of the net that I'm using is also orange. It's not compulsory it must be the same color, as a thing of choice. So but I'm working with complete orange. Then I prepared the bias, and this bias I prepared, I cut out 2 inches of the fabric. I don't have the bias making accessories. I don't have it, but somehow I can like use my hands to just like fold out the part. When I fold one edge straight, I'll iron, then fold the other edge again, iron, and then create a that's the middle will be the point where I'll fold it. But if you have the accessory for creating bias, it's better. All right, for me I don't have it, so I use the bias now to tape the Crinoline. You understand? I said it was 2 inches of the material I cut out to form the bias, so I used that bias to tape the Crinoline. And you can see that you see I'm using my machine to sew it. And then the Crinoline that I used, I actually used uh, three 3 yards, 3 yards. That was 3 yards, 3 yards of Crinoline. But I did not finish the 3 yards. That is, if you want your net to get fuller than what I have now, what you are seeing on the screen, then you can use the whole 3 yards. For me, I did not use the whole 3 yards. I got to the point I felt is okay, so I just like cut it off from there. So if you ask me what is the exact measurement I use, I might just say maybe 2 yards or 2.5 yards. I did not measure, but I started the project with 3 yards. So for me to fold it, you can see I started by folding down the edge. That edge that I folded down is very important, because if you do not secure that part very well, you start having issues with that part losing. And you know how Crinoline is, if you are used to it, it starts to draw out from there. Even when you try to like use the satin to tape that part, it doesn't work, because I've tried it before. So I just like tape the edges and then fold this very part in. So that's the same thing I will do for the last part as well, and then I'll hold it together. So at this point that I am now, I will use my thread and needle to secure what I have folded. So first of all, this is how, or should I say, this was how I created the Crinoline you see behind it. You understand? I form it separately. I created it separately. So I will use my needle and thread to secure this part. And you can see that you can easily spread it out. You understand? You can spread to the left, to the right, depending on what you're actually looking for. And like I said before, you can do something bigger than this if that is what you want. My own Crinoline is not completely 3 yards, but I started the project with 3 yards. And because I felt it would be too full, for what I wanted, so I cut out of it. So right now, I can say I have maybe 2 yards, between 2 and 2.5 yards here. Is that okay? So after securing this part very well, I'll keep it aside, and then I will prepare the bow that you can see in it now. I will also prepare the So as you can see, I'm done with this, and that's where I'll place the bow. The cap itself is ready. I did not make video on how I prepared the base. And then, of course, we know that the crinoline is ready. Now it's time to prepare the bow. Now I just cut out from my satin 6 inches from my satin, and then I folded. After folding it, I flip it over so that the rough part will go in, and then I'll see the clean side here. So if I'm going to make this bowl without anything inside, you will see this is how it will look. Can you see it? This is how it will look. 1, it's not strong. 2, it's not beautiful. It's not going to stand on its own. So for me to make the bowl very well and get what I need that crinoline that you can see there. So the first length I have was very long, so I decided to shorten it. While I was sewing, I have not taken the length I wanted, so it's now that I decided to shorten and then take out the ones I don't want. So for this project, this particular length with me is okay, and that's just about 22 inches, and it's perfect for me. I made 2 of it. The 2 of it now, I've told you that if I make the bow without anything inside, it will not be beautiful. So right now, I'm going to add crinoline. What you see in my hand there is crinoline. The one I used to prepare the top as well, where I used the bias, is also called crinoline. One thing with crinoline is that it has different sizes. We have crinoline of 1 inch, 2 inches, 3, 4. With I think the biggest for now is 6 inches, and that is one of 6 inches that I used for the bias. So to make the bow, I used the one of 3 inches to make the bow. Yeah, so all I need to do is just fix it inside and then fold it. Because I want it to be very strong, I want it very hard, I doubled the crinoline. Now it's a thing of choice. You can do without doubling it. You can just work with a single crinoline and it will still be perfect. But for me, I just decided I like to work with double, so I doubled the crinoline for both of them. Is that okay? Yeah, I doubled it. So quickly, because I needed to show you something, that's why I'm showing this part. If not, I will not. All right. So now when you fix your crinoline, you know that you sew this material, and definitely the lines are bound to move. You can see the lines. Just please straighten it and make sure it is positioned at the middle. Just make sure it is positioned at the middle, so that when you fold, the back this side can be neat, and you know that middle will be facing down. So because of that, it will be hidden. You understand? The sewing and everything will be hidden. So that was the reason I had to show that part. All right, so it will be time for me to show you how to fold the crinoline. So to fold the crinoline, I'm going to fold both left and right equally, and it will meet at a point that I can call the middle. The middle. Do you get me? It will meet at a point I can call the middle. So it actually has to be balanced while you are tracing that middle. Don't allow one part to be longer than the other. If not, it has a way of altering your style. So for today, I'm not going to fold the way you see me folding, because in some of my videos I have showed you how I folded. But this time I'm just going to use my needle and thread, and then I'll create loose stitches in it, and then pull it together to form the bow. Do you get me? Just pull it together to form the bow. And like I said, I will be making 2 of that. So let's just watch that part. So you can see how it is looking. You can see it. So one very important thing is that I have to finish this top of the turban before attaching it to the main turban. So I have to finish my decoration before attaching it to the main turban. That is, I have to finish it. So I'll start by attaching the bow to the crinoline, making sure that the edges of the crinoline is not actually showing underneath. You understand? So when you are trying to fix the bow to the crinoline, move it down as possible. Don't take it up. If you take it up, you have the issue or challenge of the crinoline showing under it. And of course, you know that when you try to trim off crinoline, it's not really too good for your work. You understand me? So as much as possible, avoid trimming the crinoline. Avoid trimming it. So right now I am done fixing that part to it. The next thing I am doing is I will take the turban and then attach it to the position I want. That's the middle of the turban where my hand is, and I want it to go a little bit sideways. I want it a little bit sideways. So all I need to do is, I already know my middle, then I'll just move it from that part a little bit downward. Then I'll start to attach it with my needle and thread. So to do my finishing, I like to prepare a little piece of ruffles to cover it. You can use a straight material and attach some kind of accessories to it. You can use brooch if you feel like, but for me, I want to use a little bit of ruffles to cover it. And to prepare these ruffles, I simply cut about 2 inches of my material, and by length about 90 inches, so it's long. Then I slant it a little to enable it fold faster, and then I'll use my needle and thread to just give it loose stitches and then pull it together. I would have formed my ruffles. I just don't want to use something straight on it. If not, you can just use a straight material and then attach your little accessory to belt it. But for that, I'm using ruffles instead of the straight material. And this is just what I do. Go in, out, loose stitches, and then I'll pull it together to form the complete ruffles. And I said the length is about 90 inches, so you can see how beautiful my ruffles is looking. It's so beautiful. So I will just simply attach the ruffles to it. To attach your ruffles or fix your ruffles, you can actually work with hot glue, or you can use your needle and thread to fix it. You can work with hot glue, or you can use your needle and thread to fix it. Yeah, so this is how it will look. This is how it will look. All right, that will just be all for my today's tutorial. I want to say thank you to all lovers of Creative Ends platform, both those that have subscribed and those that just stop by to watch my videos. If today is your first time stopping by this channel and you love what you've seen, please do subscribe. I love you all. Thank you so much for your encouragement, your comments, and everything. All those that pray for me, I'm so grateful. I appreciate you all. Stay safe. I love you all. For now, it will be bye. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.